What is going on, guys? NiftyBacon back on Car Mechanic Simulator. We're up to episode 12, and as you guys saw in my last video, they did patch the money glitch, so if you missed out on that, that sucks for you guys. So we're going to have to actually earn money and stories and stuff like that if you missed out on that. So since that is happening in the update, I wanted to kind of go over story mode cars and jobs and things like that if you guys need help on it, or if you're new to the game and you're not sure how it works and stuff like that. So I'll just go over some tips and things that will help you guys out. Since I'm leveled up, I have a few things that I can use to check on the car, but as you can see right here, all this really rusty stuff is just going to be bad. So you can literally just take all that apart and it's going to be stuff that you're going to need to replace. And as you look in the car status, it needs 100% parts condition on parts that need to be replaced. I also want us to drain the old oil and refill with new. So we'll have to do that as well. And let me check on these examine tools I have. I have a compression tester, which you guys saw in a previous episode. And what this is going to do is test the inside of the engine and see how the pistons are. So it looks like we've got two bad pistons. The engine block looks really bad, 34%. We might have to repair that. I don't think so though, because it's usually parts that are in the red, like the two pistons and the crankshaft. Those will need to be replaced. The engine block might not have to because it's at 34%. So we'll just have to see when we tear it down. So we'll have to take the engine out and all that stuff. So it's going to be a probably an hour episode on this one for this, but it'll help you guys out with your jobs and stuff. And then I also got this OBD tester or scanner. So I think this just tests like the ignition, like spark plugs, ignition coils and stuff like that. So it tells you what's bad. So the ABS module is bad. They got 3 spark plugs, 3 ignition coils that are bad, and a catalytic converter. So it also checks the catalytic converter and the exhaust as well. So that's what we got. So we're going to really have to take apart this whole engine. So we'll probably just pull it out, pretty much like rebuild it and everything. So let me get in here and get this job started, shall we? First off, take off the starter so you can get off the gearbox so you can pull the engine out. And we'll just use our engine stand. This kind of reminds me of that job that we had before previously, like the same color blue car. It might be the same customer. I forgot the story that I read on it and everything. So, oh wow. Looks like all the exhaust here is going to probably need to be replaced. Yep, it's all at like 18-24%. So if you see all this rust, it's pretty much going to need to be replaced. So it's an easy way to see what's bad without having to examine parts, which you can examine parts like this with examine mode. And as long as they're like yellow or orange and things like that, like this, and the brakes, then they're fine. It's when the parts are red like this, like the ABS module, that's when you need to replace it. If it's orange like this, it's fine, so it looks like we won't have to replace the block or anything. So that's kind of nice, but we'll have to pretty much do everything inside the engine, like pistons and spark plugs and stuff like that. So we'll get on that, and need to get this drive shaft out. So that way we can get the gearbox off of here so we can get the engine out. Alright, getting it taken apart. It's going to take this off already. I'll have to put it back on later anyhow. Well, I probably could have just left it on there because we don't need the block. Oh wait, we need the crankshaft, so we do need to take it off. Never mind. I'm already ahead of the game, yo. Yeah, homie. I know, right? Oh, That's right, we need the engine crane here, over there. It's kind of important. Wait, might need to take the exhaust off. Yep, I knew it. Okay. Should have remembered to do that. So you need to get the gearbox out and the front exhaust. Oh, I have to take off the turbo and stuff up top before I can do that. Okay. So some of these cars are kind of a pain in the butt like that. Like this one. So we're going to have to take off the exhaust manifold. Well, I guess at least the turbocharger, I guess. Yeah, we'll have to take that off. And then we can get the exhaust out. And then we can get the engine out. Most of the older cars, we don't have to do this much to get the engine out. You just got to take the gearbox out. And the front exhaust, which I always forget when I'm doing the job myself. Alright. Oh, shoot. These are supposed to be tips to help you guys out. So, you know, any mistakes you guys see will help you guys out as well, I guess. But you definitely need to drain the oil too. Wasn't a whole lot in there. Okay. I think we're good now. So remember, gearbox, got to take the axles off before you can get the gearbox out, or the drive shafts. And then you need to drain the oil, and then you need to make sure the front exhaust is off, and then we can take it out. So we'll just go with that. Alright, so we'll add it to the engine stand here, and we're going to just have to tear this whole thing apart, because it's pretty much just all bad parts. Oh my goodness, I cannot get onto that ignition coil. It's crazy. There's like one good ignition coil. And that said the spark plugs were bad. Oh my goodness, there we go. There we go. The throttle's bad. Probably the intake manifold's bad too, I'm betting. Yep. Maybe the fuel rail too. No, the fuel rail's okay. This belt tensioner off. Yeah, we're gonna need belts. Come on. Get on the belt there. There you go. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna need belts. Some rollers. Crankshaft pulley. Water pump looks like. Wonder if we can repair these on the bench. Yeah, that's bad too. Boy, everything on this engine is horrible. We're gonna have to rebuild the whole thing. Everything but the block seems to be bad. I'm gonna have to get this head off so that way we can get the pistons out. So we already know there's two bad because we have the compression tester. It's definitely a really helpful tool when you're at this kind of point in the game, because you can't really tell if the inside's all messed up, and you don't want to have to take the whole thing apart and then find out like there wasn't anything wrong on the inside. So that's fine. That piston's good. That was a bad piston. Yep. And that piston was bad too. So you can reuse the parts that are at 50% or so and like 34%, but I'm just going to go ahead and replace all the pistons just to make it easier. Makes it faster too. 'Cause I've got plenty of money. It's not like it's a big deal right now for me. But if you guys are trying to save money, then you can definitely, you know, put the 50% parts back in there. And then you just got to make sure the parts that they want fixed that were bad have to be at 100%, or it won't let you like complete it. So see, we can use these because they're at 56% and they weren't in the red, so these are perfectly fine to use. Acceptable. Even though you want to like rebuild everything because it just looks terrible. But that's what the customer wants, so that's what we're giving them. Probably need an oil filter though. Just gonna do that. Pretty sure that was gonna be bad. But if you guys don't know and you haven't heard me say it before, the best jobs to do to like level up quickly and get them done fast are the gearbox jobs, because all you have to do is like the gearbox and the clutch stuff and the flywheel and everything. It's really quick to take apart and everything, and then you just replace that stuff and then you're done with the job. Or you can do like the body parts where you buy like the body pieces, the doors and stuff like that. Will also be like quick jobs that you can get done fast. So we need an engine head. Let me see if we can fix any of this stuff. Sometimes you can't do it with the story modes. I guess we can, but it has to be at 100%, otherwise we can't use it. So I'll just click through this. So once you get to this, see, these are all 56%. We don't need to repair those. So sometimes if you try to repair them, it'll break them. So we don't want to lose the parts. And they're perfectly fine at 50%. So let's see if we got the head. Nope, we broke it. Okay, so we're gonna have to buy it anyway. It's worth a shot. Sometimes it works. Let's see. Is engine head I4 or B? Oh, it's just the I4. Okay. Oh, that just looks silly with a new head on it, and it's got like terrible block. Couldn't think of the name. Yep, need a camshaft. But I'm hoping these tips or just watching me do these jobs and everything will help you guys. If you're new to the game, if you just got it, or if you're currently playing it and you're stuck on stuff and things like that, hopefully this will help you in the game as well, since you can't use the money glitch anymore. You know what, I'm not sure if I'm putting the right cam gear on there. Let me see, because this is helpful. We can just do this and it can highlight what parts you need to replace. But with it on the engine stand, I don't know if it's going to highlight it in blue like it does on the car. So let's see what it does. Yeah, it's not highlighting it. So I'm just going to replace both of these because I'm not sure which one it wants replaced. So it'll just be easier. But if it's on the car, it'll be a lot easier to tell. Engine head cover. Oh, here it is. It's like, I know it's right there, it's gotta be. I'll just replace all the spark plugs too, because it's hard to know which ones were bad. Yeah, I figured we need a timing belt. Alright, timing belt. And once you're at this point, you can't really take it to the test path right away, or like the test track. Oh, we fixed that. So the car just basically doesn't run, so you have to fix it and get it to the point where you can drive it and get it running, so that you can actually take it to the test path and the test track and stuff like that. So it's a little more technical at this stage of the game. I think it's that one, right? Obviously, because it's an I-4. Yep. We needed a water pump and an alternator. Oh, we fixed that. Do we fix the steering pump? Cool. Usually you fix the alternator and steering pump pretty easily. We need a water pump. And I think I might have some rollers. Yep, there we go. And we need a Serpentine Belt B and A, probably. It's been a while since I've done these. Get used to building the V8s and the rotary engine we just did, and I forget how to do these jobs. That's the one. I don't know if we need to replace the belt tensioner. I think it's fine. But that'll be easy to take off later when it's in the engine. Fix that. That's fine. Oh, so I guess we didn't have to take those off. Oh well. Let's see. We get the fuel rail. Well, that was good. Fix that. That's good. And the throttle. Nice. Cool. Alright. Anything else we're missing? It's just spark plugs and ignition coils, it looks like. So, just to make it faster, I'll get all 4 for both of those. But you can put the like 50% parts, as you guys are seeing, in the places where they were perfectly fine if you're really needing to save money on a job or something and you're just starting out in the game. It's a lot better to be kind of frugal with it. But we got $300,000, so few prices on spark plugs and ignition coils isn't such a big deal. Plus it makes it faster, because then I don't have to be like, oh, well, which one goes into here and this one goes there, and then end up putting it in the wrong place, and then it's like, oh no, you didn't fix the part because you didn't like do it right or whatever. There we go. Now we got the engine done. And oops, I always get too excited to pull out. There we go. Put it back in there. Now we can, now that it's in the car, we can actually see the blue highlighted stuff. And then I'm just gonna like mark these off so they're not highlighted. We'll just keep the stuff that is bad highlighted, so it'll remind us that we need to fix that. We still need to find some parts that we haven't discovered yet. Alright, let's see here. Obviously this is bad, so that's a new part that we're missing, and we need the ABS module. ABS pump is bad as well, so we'll need those. Oh, is this showing the block needs replacing? Uh-oh, we might actually have to take this whole thing apart again. Let me see if it says engine block. Oh, we do have to replace the engine block. Wow. Well, that was my bad, guys. Let me get back to you guys after I've done that, because I'm going to take the whole thing apart and put it back together. I'm not going to make you watch that. Yeah, so even I mess up and everything, so I forgot that if it's like 34% and everything, like maybe even 40%, then you need to replace it. Even if it's orange, it's not necessarily just red. So even I make mistakes. Even though I've been playing this game for a while and I'm at this level, I still make mistakes and everything like that. I was thinking we could get away without having to replace the whole block, but we needed to replace the block in the crankshaft, and I was able to repair both. So I'm just going to patch this all back together, and I will see you guys in a bit, and we'll figure out what other things are wrong with the car. Alright guys, we got the engine back in the car after that whole debacle, so we had to replace the block and everything. But that's what happens when you're working on the cars, like you're not sure and then you're like, oh crap, I gotta take this whole thing apart. Man, that's messed up. That's horrible. So just gonna see what else is wrong with the car here and figure out what else we need to replace. Alright, and then see, as you see here, these blue highlighted parts I have highlighted with the stars in here, as we fixed most of this stuff. So like these stars right here highlight what you need to replace. So we need to put the turbo back in here. Oh, we have to put the front exhaust in there first. We'll get to that and then we'll figure out what else is wrong with the car. Oh. Okay, so front section turbo. Okay, so we can't really repair those parts, so we did need a new belt tensioner because it was at 34%. So yeah, definitely if the parts are not at least at 50%, you got to replace them probably. So I was wrong on that. I was thinking it was like just red parts. I was just trying to pull a fast one on the game, but it just didn't want me to do it. Alright, so we got to get this in here first before we can do the turbo. We can get pretty much the engine completely done because I put the ABS pump and ABS module, as you can see here, they're brand new, in there. What are we doing? Oh yeah, turbo. We didn't fix the turbocharger, so we're going to have to buy that. There we go. And you can use at least like 3 letters. Maybe sometimes you can get away with 2 letters and you can get to the part. You don't have to type the whole word out as long as you know what it is. Let's see here. So we've got 2 parts we haven't found that might be bushings. That's usually what it is. But we've got all this done. 3 parts we're missing. So we got all this exhaust. Yeah, all the exhaust left. So let's get that thrown on there, and we could probably take it to the test path or a test track and figure out what else is wrong with the car, because it's either the brakes, bushings, or suspension maybe. Because we've already gone through the entire engine, checked the radiator. The battery might be bad actually, let's check that too. Yeah, the battery's bad, so we need a battery, so that's one of the parts. Since we don't have a battery charger yet, we just have to buy a new one. It'd be nice when we have the battery charger and we can do that. We might need to replace this air filter too. Yep. So that's a quick way to examine it to make sure so you don't have to take the whole thing apart, because these clips can be quite annoying to take off. There we go. Ah. You usually don't have to replace those clips, I've found, so you don't have to worry about that too much. Unless maybe it is on the distributor in the engine. You might have to do that. I'm not recalling all of the jobs that I've done on the game, so. You can use the 50% part. It worked just fine. Yeah. There we go. Okay, let's just check here. So we got one part we're missing. Found the air filter. We got the exhaust. And so there might be some bushings that we're probably missing or something because the brakes seem to be fine. But we can definitely test that out on the test path and figure out what's going on with that. Let's see. So we need rear muffler, I4, exhaust pipe, middle muffler, and catalytic converter. If I can remember all that. And a catalytic converter. Muffler. We need a middle muffler. We need the muffler I4. And then we needed the exhaust pipe. I think I got it all. That should be all 4 pieces. Yeah, there we go. That's how you do it. So, new catalytic converter. Middle muffler. Exhaust pipe. And that. And then we can go into car status. Oops. Yeah, we already filled it with oil, so that's good. We got one part we're missing. And we got all the exhaust done, so we can take those off. So we're missing one part. I wonder if there's anything I missed in the engine, possibly? See, I checked the air filter, I got the radiator, I got the battery, I got the brake servo, so that's all good in there. Let's go ahead and throw the tires on, and, oh, we need the axles on. Oh, and the gearbox. That's right. We kind of need to put that back together. See, I totally spaced stuff. Like, oh yeah, I got the car back together. It's got the engine in there. It's perfectly fine. We got an exhaust. Go up there. Closer. There we go. Cool little trick that you guys don't know. You can just click on stuff. So that flywheel's fine because it's at 50. It's a little bit too close. That's fine. That one's good. That's good too. Gearbox is fine. Drive shaft should be okay. Yep. That was just a spare one I had, so I'm just going to use the 50% one because I don't want to use my good parts for the customer car. Alright, now we can get the tires on. And then we can do a test path test, see if there's like a rubber bushing or whatever the heck is missing on this car. It's like one part that's missing. Yeah. So we'll move it over to the test path. Oh, can't start engine. Oh, that's right, I didn't put the starter in it, duh. I always do that. I get everything together and I forget the starter. Especially when it's like on the top part of the engine. We'll get it done. This is usually what I do with these jobs. I'm like fiddling around and I'm like, can't start engine. What the heck? What is going on? Let's see. We've got spark plugs. We got ignition coils. We got oil in it. Got a starter. Got the oil pan on, the oil filter. What the heck would this be? What am I missing here? Oh, you know what? I think I know what the culprit is. It's the fuel pump. So if you have all that in there, like the battery's good and everything, make sure you check the fuel pump, and that's what it was. Because if you don't have a good fuel pump, it won't start. And you'll be like looking around and you're like, what the heck? What's going on? It won't start. Just like I was. And then I remembered, oh yeah. So that was the part we were missing. So we should be good and we should be able to finish this. So let's see if we can. Cool. We got done with that job. So that's some tips. Kind of seeing me make mistakes will help you guys out with the story modes and jobs so you can earn money, since the money glitch doesn't work anymore and stuff like that. So, or if you guys are playing the game legitimately. If you guys liked the video, definitely leave a like, definitely subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell, get notified when my videos will be up. Usually midnight every day, unless I find a glitch or have an update video to put up for you guys. It'll just be at a random time when I can get them up. See you guys in the next video.